Hello, my dear children. A very good morning to you all. I hope all of you are doing good. So, this is our ninth video. We have started our second chapter, that is mathematical figures in computer. We have learned what is GeoGebra, how to open the GeoGebra software, and we have seen some of the tools used in GeoGebra software. So today we are going to do our first activity, that is angles between the lines. Then we will study how to make the point labels or names visible if it is not visible. Then we will see how to save the files in GeoGebra. Then we will learn what is the use of the intersecting tool. So let's start with our first activity, angles between lines. So first of all, we have to open the software GeoGebra. How can we open it? Go to applications, select education. From that, select GeoGebra. Now the software is opened. We can maximize this window. Okay. Now our first activity is angles between lines. So in order to find the angles between lines, first of all we have to draw two lines that intersect with each other. How can we draw line segments? For that we have a line segment tool. See, this is the line segment tool. Click on that. Now how to draw a line segment? For that, first of all we have to click at a point, then just move the mouse. No need to click and drag, just click the mouse, release, then just move the mouse. Then we have to click at another point. See, our first line segment is drawn. Now we have to draw another line segment that intersect with the first line segment. Click at a point, just move the mouse, no need to drag, then click at another point. See, now two line segments intersecting with each other are drawn. Now we have to find the intersecting point of these two lines. How to find the intersecting point? For that we have a intersect point tool. See, this is the intersect tool. Select that. Now first click on the first line segment. Then click on the second line segment. See, the intersecting point of these two line segments is shown here. The point E is the intersecting point of these two lines. We can use this move tool in order to move this label E here so that it is clearly visible now. Okay. Now we have to find the angles between these two intersecting lines. How we can measure the angles? We have angle tool for that. See, this is the angle tool. Select that. Now we have to find the angle between these two lines. We have to find the angle DEB. Okay. How to find the angle? For that we have to click on these 3 points in anti-clockwise direction. So first I have to click on B, then E, then D. Now this angle is shown here. Now I have to find this angle between C, E and A. For that I have to click on these three points in anti-clockwise direction. A, E, C. Now I will use this move tool to move these labels here so that it is clearly visible. Okay. Now we will again select the angle tool. Now we have to find the angles between these lines. Angle A, E and D. I will click these points in anti-clockwise direction. So first I have to click on D, then E, then A. Now that angle is visible here. Now in order to find this angle between B, E and C, I have to click on these points in anti-clockwise direction. So C, E, B. Now we can use the move tool to move these labels like this. Now all the angles, all the labels are clearly visible. Do you find any specialities in these angles? Yes. See, these two angles are same. They are equal, 67.77 degrees. And these two angles are same. They are equal. Angle is 112.23 degrees. So when two lines intersect with each other, the opposite angles between them will be equal. You have studied this in your maths class, right? Okay. Now, here we can see the names of these points or the labels of these points are visible. See, this is point A, this is B, this is C, this is D, and this intersecting point is E. The name of these points or the labels of these points are visible. If it is not visible, how to make it visible? See, now the labels or the names of the points are not visible. Which point is A, which point is B, C or D? We don't know. So how to make the name or the labels of these points visible? For that we have to right click on a point, then select this option, show label. See, the name of that point is visible now. Now we'll click on the second point, right click on that, select show label option. Now another point, right click, show label. The last point, right click, show label. See, now the labels or the names of all the points are visible. So if the name or labels of a point is not visible, how to make it visible? Right click on that point and select the show label option. Now we will save this file. How to save this file?
For that, go to File menu. From that, select Save. Then a new window appears. Here you can give the name for the file.
I have given the name intersecting lines. Now from here we have to select the location where this file should be saved. I am going to select Documents folder from Home folder. If you want to save this in the desktop, you can select this. But I am going to save this file in the Documents folder inside the Home folder. So open this Documents folder. Then I have to click on this Save button. Now this file will be saved in the Documents folder with the name Intersecting Lines. This is how we can save the files in GeoGebra software. Now we can use this Move tool, and I am going to click on this point D and I am moving the mouse. See, in this manner I can move this point. Click on a point and just move the mouse. If I move this line, the angles are changing, right? So if I want to change the angles, I can click on a point and move the mouse. Now I will move this point. See, the angles are changing as I change the position of this point.
In your textbook, two tables are given. You have to use the Move tool to change the position of the points so that the angles between the lines will change. We have done that just now. So you have to change the points position, angles will change. Write down those angles in these tables. Again change the position of the points, angles will change. Write down those angles in these tables. Consider the first table. The first two columns are adjacent angles. Write down the sum of those two angles in the third column. Similar way, in second table, first two columns are adjacent angles. Calculate the sum of those angles and write it down in the third column. Is there any speciality? Yes, sum of adjacent angles will be 180 degree. One example is given there in the table. So we have to complete this table. But now you can't do these activities in your practical lab. So you need not complete this table. Okay. So this is the method to complete this table. Change the points position. Angles will change. Write it down. Then calculate the sum of the adjacent angles. It will be 180 degree.
So our first activity was angles between lines. How did we measure the angles between the lines? For that, first of all, we have to draw two line segments that intersect each other using the segment tool. After that, using the intersect tool, we have to find the intersecting point of those two lines. How to find the intersecting point of two lines? We have to click on first line, then click on second line, then the intersecting point will be visible. After that, we can use the angle tool to measure the angles between the lines. We have to click on the points in anti-clockwise direction, and the angle between that lines will be visible. This is how we can find the angles between the lines. Then we have seen that when two line segments intersect with each other, the opposite angles will be equal. Now, if the name or the labels of the points are not visible, how to make it visible? We have to right click the mouse on the point, then we have to select the option show label. Then the name or the label of that point will be visible. Then how to save the file? We have to click on the file menu. From that we have to select save or save as. Then a window will appear. From that we have to select the folder in which the file should be saved. Then we have to give the name to the file. After that, click on the save button. This is how we can save files in GeoGebra. Then what is the use of intersect tool? Intersect tool is used to find out the intersection points of two or more objects or lines drawn in GeoGebra window. How to find? We have to click on the intersecting objects one after the other using this tool. If two line segments intersect with each other, we have to select the intersect tool, click on first line, then click on second line, then the intersecting point of those two lines will be visible. This is the use of intersecting tool. So in today's class, we have done our first activity, that is angles between lines. We have drawn two line segments using the segment tool. Then using the intersecting tool, we have found the intersecting point of those two lines. Then using the angle tool, we have measured the angles between the lines. Then we have learned how to make the point labels or names visible. Right click on the point, select the show label option. Then we have studied how to save a file. Click on file menu. From that, select save or save as. A window appears. Give the name to the file. Select the location where it should be saved. Then click on the save button. Then we have studied what is the use of intersecting tool. It is used to find the intersecting point of two or more lines or objects drawn in GeoGebra. How we can find the intersecting point? First, select the intersecting tool. Then click on first object, then second object, then the intersecting point will be visible. So children, we have done our first activity in GeoGebra. I hope all of you are clear with this activity. We'll do our second activity in our next class. So see you next class. Bye.